Alright, I'm going to show you how I'm going to route my camera wire for my dash cam. This is a Ram 1500. It's a 2021. I've had my camera up here for a little while. I kind of moved it around 2 or 3 places to figure out where it worked out best for me. But right now, I just temporarily stuck it up under the headliner and kind of ran it down the back of the pillar, down the side, and I've got it plugged in right up here underneath the radio. I was thinking about adding a power supply for it, but I'm leasing this vehicle, so I'm probably not going to do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that arm pillar off, or the arm grab off, feed the wire in a little bit better, and then just tuck it up so it looks a little bit neater. So remove this cover. You can take a plastic body tool, a small screwdriver, just gotta be careful not to tear up your trim. Just gonna get that started behind there. Keep my hand out of the way as much as possible here. Once I get it started, just pull straight out, and that comes loose. Do the same thing on this one. Just try to find the spot where it's loosest. Just got that one off the finger. You've got 2 10mm bolts right here. So we'll take those 2 out, and then like I said, this should come off. So 2 bolts, and I'm just lifting up slightly, and that slides right up out of there. So that's all there is to getting that pillar off. So again, with my wire, I'm just using the auxiliary 2 USB port to power this up. I came down and I just kind of pushed this up under here. If you need to pull this off, there's a tab here, a tab here, and a tab here. Those just pull down out of there. I've got another video that shows how to get those out. They're pretty tough to get out of there. You got to be careful not to break them and not to bend your trim piece there. Once you pop that out of there, I've just kind of fished the wire up underneath here. You can actually pull this down in the back, as you can see where my fingers are. And just take your fingers and push your wire up underneath there. And again, I just popped out right here on the side. I just took the rubber trim, I just pulled it back with my fingers and fed the wire up through there. Once I get up to my pillar here, I'm going to take this, I'm actually going to attach it to this other wire that's ran up here. That way I know I'm not going to get in the way or get caught on anything. And your headliner's hollow, so I can get my finger up underneath it here. I'm going to try to fish this over and down and out. There's enough room to kind of tuck this up in the front of the windshield here. But it's not up in there super good, and I don't want it to keep falling out on me. So I'm going to try to fish this back and through. If I can't, then I'm just going to tuck it the way it was in the first place. It stayed up there pretty good for, I've had it up there for at least 2 months now, and it hasn't fallen down. So I'm just going to try to make it look a little bit better. And then at the end there, I took the excess wire and just wrapped it around the mirror, just to keep it from, hanging down. So I pulled this back through here, zip tied at the bottom, middle, and I just took my finger and I actually pulled this down a little bit, and I just tucked the wire, and I felt it drop up over the top of my headliner. So it's back in the groove over the headliner, so it's not going to fall out of there. But I went and zip tied it all the way toward the top here, just to keep it from working its way back down and out. So I'll cut these off and we'll put my pillar back on. Now when you're putting this back in, these 2 little tabs here, it's hard to see, but there's 2 little holes down in there. You need to drop that down in those 2 little holes. This side here just kind of drops down in. And your rubber seal here, if you pinch it, it doesn't matter. You don't want to tighten the bolts down, but you can pull that out over the top of the lip of it after you're done putting it in there. I'll line my tabs up as best I can without being able to really see down in there. And you'll know when you got it because it'll just fall in there easy like that. If you have to push or force it, you're probably got something pinched. Pull out and start over. I'm taking my finger and just running it up the rubber seal. So the seal's on the outside of my pillar here. And again, you can do that later if you want to. It's just easier for me to just fix it now while I'm here. And it may get pinched again when I go to tighten it, but for now it's good enough. Got my 2 bolts. Go start those. I'll tighten them up with my impact, but I'm going to start them by hand. Sorry if my forehead was in the way there. them by hand so you don't cross thread them or strip them out. I'm just going to snug them up. After that, just take your cover, make sure you're lined up, and just push in. They'll pop back in place. There's the pillar back on. And again, if your rubber seal out here is tucked or caught in there like mine is a little bit, if you can't get your fingernail in there, you can get a body tool in. Don't drop it. Try to do this with my left hand, which I'm not left-handed. Yeah, that's how good my left hand works. I'll slide it under there, and then like I said, I can just take it and run it down through there, and that'll get my rubber seal back to where it needs to be. And the only place you're going to see the wire is a little bit right there going under the dash. So I'm going to work on this a little bit right here, trying to get this to look a little bit better. It's really tight through here. I really don't want to take this entire console off just to fish that one wire. I probably could. The bottom piece of the dashboard here is too hard to drop. So I'm going to see if I can fish this up in here a little bit better. If not, I may just tuck it right there and find a way to pinch the wire so it doesn't hang down and out of the, or down on the floorboard. Again, back up top, I'm tucked in all the way to the big old thing that holds the mirror on there. I'm going to just leave my extra wire. I'm going to wrap it around the mirror. And like I said, I just windshield mounted the camera up there where I could see it. If you want to put it on this side, you can. I don't really watch it. It times off after a few seconds, so it actually goes black, so it doesn't keep me distracted. I really don't like the fact I'm mounting it in the middle of the windshield, and I don't want it up in my face, so that worked out best for me. So after a little inspection here, again, my cable's trying to plug in up here. I got to looking, and this actually just pops off here. So this piece beside the glove box. Now to do that, just get your finger in there, you can pull back, and the tabs pop out. There's a tab here, tab at the top, and a tab right over here in this corner. Yeah, it's got a little body tool here. Probably don't even need it, just don't want to break anything. Let's try it this way. Oh, easy as can be, huh? And yeah, there's 3 orange tabs there. That back one is kind of hard to get to. They're in there really snug. This has never been popped out before. Actually, there's 4 tabs. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not even going to pull that one out. I'm just going to take my wire and fish it up underneath there. But if you need to pop that out. So I just tucked my wire underneath there instead of trying to pull that tab out, because like I said, that tab is caught in there. If I had to get it out, I could, but I don't really have to get it out, so I don't want to end up breaking something trying to get a tab out, just to show you how to pull a tab out. But my wire's routed down in there now. I tucked it in as tight as I could. This piece of plastic doesn't have a side on it, so basically over here where the side is, the wire will tuck up in there good. So I'm just going to take my piece now. I'll try to do this one-handed. Line up my tabs and just pop it back in, like so. So that left me enough room to plug my wire back in here. Again, you can mess with your wire as long as you need it, or however you need it done. So I'm plugged in there, I'm tucked in there, you can't see it, no one's going to get their foot on it. It's up underneath here, pops out behind the glove box, runs behind this pillar here, up behind the door pillar, under the headliner, pops out up by the mirror. Took my excess, just wrapped it around the mirror, and then mounted my camera up top so you can barely see any of the wires. So again, that's it. Pretty much probably 15-20 minutes at the most to install that. All the wires are hidden, no one's going to get tripped over anything. 10mm socket on the side over there, about the only special tool you need. And hopefully that helps you out.